Hi, everybody. My name is Brian,
I'm Andrew.
and this is our introduction video to our final health coaching project. Very exciting. So, in this video, Andrew and I are going to be discussing the client scenarios that we have made up, and then we're going to be kind of just discussing all the health techniques, health coaching techniques that we have gone over the whole semester and learned throughout the whole semester, and kind of how we're going to hopefully use them in our scenarios to move our clients along. So I'll start. The clients that I've made up is Ernie. He is a 28-year-old male. He has weight management issues. He is currently underweight for his age and height, and he suffers from a lot of fatigue and a lot of hunger. He's hungry all the time, and he's also a weekend warrior, which means that he doesn't work out during the weekday. He works out during the weekends, but at a very intense pace. So he will often work out for 2 hours Saturday, Sunday, just nonstop. Um, and he has been a vegan for 2 months. He is currently on a vegan diet. So he has come to a health coach to try and gain weight while maintaining his vegan diet and staying fit and active. Yeah, that's Ernie.
All right, and my character is going to be Bert. He is a 33-year-old male who also has issues with weight management, but unlike Ernie, it is issues with being overweight. So he's trying to lose weight, but his problem is fighting feelings of fatigue. So he starts an exercise and he just gets tired. It's not really a specific physiological reason, it's not a joint issue or anything. He gets this feeling of fatigue and he stops at, and that's his issue. He's seeking out a health coach to help him plan around this feeling and help him overcome it. So he deals with exercise confusion, so not really understanding why he's feeling this fatigue and why he's not getting results from the exercise he is doing. And also exercise ADD, so he's not sure what exercise to stick to. He starts one, he doesn't really like it, so then he moves on, and he moves on before he can see any benefits, and he just keeps bouncing back and forth, and that's why he's not seeing any results. So obviously his main issue is this perception of fatigue, so just using the principle of ORS and open-ended questions, just simply getting into it. Why are you having these feelings of fatigue? What exercise gives you this feeling of fatigue the least? What do you enjoy? Just that kind of thing. And we're going to be establishing a relationship of trust and getting to know our client.
All right, that's Bert and Ernie clients. So now we're just going to go through all the stuff we've learned this semester and kind of how it pertains to being a great health coach and how we're going to use it on Bert and Ernie. So first, we will discuss establishing good communication and a good relationship, first and foremost, with the clients. Personally, I think that is the most important thing about health coaching myself. Just having a relationship with the client, first and foremost, to establish trust, empathizing with their situation, and kind of using that bond to move them forward. As we know from our textbook and stuff, you don't want to push a client towards anything. You want to guide them. You don't want to tell them to do something. You want to have them figure it out on their own. And I believe that the relationship you make with the first impression as a health coach with your first meeting with the client, kind of the biggest thing, because that over encompasses the whole rest of your time with them and kind of allows you to more effectively coach them to where they want to be. So I think it's the most important thing. What do you think the most important thing is about health coaching?
I think the most important thing when it comes down to motivational interviewing and speaking with our client is just personalizing this whole process to them. It's pretty easy to just fit the plan and then just kind of plug them in where applicable, but really getting to know them and knowing, okay, what like goal setting is going to be most appropriate for them, and backing off maybe when something you can see is too much for them. So really just getting to know your client, and it's not about telling them what they should be doing. Like, hey, so okay, you need to, our goal at the end of this week is to lose 2 pounds. So like you need to do this, 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 and this, but that might not be appropriate for them. So maybe if it's just too much for them, backing off, but then also recognizing where they can, where they can improve more, and they know they can improve more. So maybe a pound or 2 a week is labeled like, the safe weight loss per week, but maybe they can do more in a healthy way. So every client's going to be a little different, but it's just getting them to understand within them how to change. You're just there to help them, motivate them, obviously, put them on the right track, and they're there to do everything.
Right. And I think that's the great distinction between a health coach and a personal trainer, which I've always kind of enjoyed, that there is that distinction. Some people think, oh, you can be a personal trainer and a health coach, but they're two different ways of going about working with a client. And so I think, I think that is the basis for everything. And during the first meeting, I think that's the most important thing to do, is to just get to know your client. Like Andrew was saying, once that happens, everything else is easy. Going through all the steps that we're going to be talking about later on with a client is just going to be easier once you have established that you're a team, partners there to work on specific things and guide them towards their goals. And speaking about goals, it's easier when you have a good relationship to set goals. Of course, you have to do it in the right way. And I'm talking about SMART goals, which is the specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound goals. And also setting like small, reasonable goals. You don't want to set big, broad goals that scares clients. And of course, you want to also in that first meeting see kind of where they're at motivation-wise, and see kind of what goals are more appropriate. Like Andrew, like you were saying, the safe way is 1 to 2 pounds a week. But if you look at them and say, no, we can increase the goal, we can make a bigger goal, then why not? I think just your discretion, I think, is what is most important. Your goals.
Totally. And then, like you were saying, setting like a goal that they can accomplish, just because it gets them on the right track, they're progressing, but it also increases their self-efficacy, which is pretty much all about the health belief model, and just increasing their self-efficacy and like tapping into that, and then just getting them to understand, like, okay, I actually know that I'm really good at this, so then going with that, like play into their strengths and understand what their barriers might be, but again, what the benefits, their perceived benefits of this whole plan. Because if they don't see any benefit in changing and having you as their health coach, then there's no reason for them to stick with anything or try. So it's just getting them really excited about progressing in that end goal. Yeah,
and touching on that, speaking of the health belief model, the self-efficacy thing is a huge deal. I'm a public health minor, so we've learned about the health belief model and how it affects community, stuff like that. But to lead a client into this place where they believe that they can achieve whatever you put in front of them, and establishing that through the health belief model is definitely a big thing. And talking about the health belief model leading into the trans-theoretical model is a big thing, using the health belief model in conjunction with that to progress them through the stages of change, and then also kind of assessing in that first meeting where they are in the stage of change. Obviously, they're probably not in the maintenance stage because they're coming to you so you can help them change, but kind of gearing them to get further along in those stages of change. And of course, health coaching always kind of plays a different role depending on where you are in the trans-theoretical model of change, what stage you're at. But I believe the health belief model facilitates pushing past those stages to get to the next stage very well. So I think in conjunction, those things are going to help us with our clients in our made-up scenarios, kind of progress them along, and hopefully we can apply that correctly. But I think it's a big thing using them both together to get them to the stage of change we need them to get to, and then eventually getting them to the maintenance phase, and hopefully they can go from there on their own. But we'll see where that happens.
Yeah, I agree. Well said.
Thank you so much. So then, kind of just talking about, we've talked about a little bit about goal setting, small, smart goals, especially in that first meeting. In the first video, we're definitely going to touch on that towards the end of the video once we've established good communication, good relationship, all that stuff. Kind of see where they're at using the health belief model and change theoretical model. And then we're going to kind of progress to the second video, which will be more focus on goals, and then more focus on kind of bringing out what the client wants ultimately to achieve. The SMART goals, the small attainable ones at the beginning of the video, and kind of establishing that connection is necessary, and you want to kind of see where they're at and see what kind of goals they can handle. And then I think the second video, communication, is even more important because you know where that kind of who they are, where they stand, and then so using OARs and all of the motivational interviewing techniques on the second video, and then kind of pulling, since you've established that trust, kind of having that sense of comfort, the comfortability of coaching client, and then using the motivational interviewing to establish not bigger goals, but more in-depth goals that you think they can handle, and kind of really getting the train moving on, getting them to where they want to be. So I think that's what video 2 is going to be most about, is seeing where they want to go.
Yeah. And video 2 is a good time to sort of check in where they're at and see how they felt about, the previous session and what they were doing sort of as homework in between then, and maybe adjusting the plan if something pops up and you see that, okay, like I see we need to focus on this a little more. Just getting the client to sort of ease into this whole process, and you're sort of, I guess you could say, more of like a friend in the first interactions with the new client. Just kind of, like you said, getting them to trust you and be comfortable with you, sharing all of this, what could be delicate information. And then you sort of, like in our second video, we're going to get more into the coaching role. Like, we're still a coach throughout the whole time, but now that we have that relationship, we can really get down to what it is they want to do as far as reaching their goals, and, like you said, set further goals. And
exactly. And I think that's a really good way to put it. Being kind of more of the going to coffee with your buddy first video, and then the second video you kind of move into, all right, so we've done that, and now we're gonna actually see where you're at. We're gonna try and we're gonna make this work. We're gonna go. We're gonna lead you where you want to be. And I think that's a perfect way to describe both the videos. Because, like I said, the first one, I think it's most important to establish the relationship before using health coaching techniques or anything. Establishing good rapport with and showing them that you are the health coach. You are what they want. You are going to help them. You're their guy. You're it. You're the health coach that they should be at, and having them have that sense of comfort that they're in good hands. They're in the perfect hands, that you should kind of convey that to the client. And I think video 1 is definitely where that happens. And then video 2, really having a focus on the client. In video 1, you kind of empathize with them. You might show some personal experience to better connect with the client, stuff like that. But in video 2, with the goal setting, with trying to see how best you can progress them along, and of course, like Andrew said, seeing what they've done that first week when you weren't around, or how they communicated with you outside of the sessions that first week is really going to dictate how you go about the second week. And we're going to definitely touch on that in video 2. But also just, using the communication in video 2 is very important. The client focus, being very positive with your speech. You're probably dealing with a little more technical aspects of the client in video too. So you definitely want to keep it positive and always kind of be on your toes with the open-ended questions, the affirmations, with the reflective listening. You kind of always want to be just very aware of what the client's saying to you, and how they're feeling, and kind of judge through body language and through the tone how best to progress the session towards the ultimate goal setting, which is the point of week 2 is to set more specific goals, so that the client can move forward. And I think that's a big thing. The communication's more technical, the second video, I think, than in the first video.
Yeah, totally. Remembering to still be formal and for your presence to sort of signify that you are a professional and a health coach, but still be their friend. You know, you can't be too friendly to the point where they think you might not take it seriously. But I agree with everything that you said. So yeah, the audience is going to see all of that in videos 2 and 3, and I think that pretty much kind of outlines how we're going to approach this.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we covered all the techniques we're going to use. Now it's just applying them to the specific scenarios, and
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah, it'll be a good time.
It'll be a great time. All right. Well, I will see you next video.
All right. Bye.
Bye.